Hi guys, Tom Abercrombie from the Tall Blacks here. I bet you didn't know, but the TAB are big funders of basketball in New Zealand, and Mark's here with a cool new offer.
Yeah, it is pretty exciting for basketball fans out there. If you haven't got a TAB account, download the app and use the promo code BBALL20. Do a $20 deposit, we'll match it, so your balance will be 40 plus we give Basketball New Zealand $20 as well. Pretty good offer.
So if a new customer signs up, they get a $20 bonus, plus Basketball New Zealand gets $20 as well.
That's right, Alex, it's a pretty good deal. Do remember, BBALL20 in the promo code when you download the app and put in an account. Enjoy it, have fun, basketball's a great game.
I'm here with Hawks coach Zico Coronel. Zico, can you tell us a little bit about what it's been like transitioning from an assistant coach to a head coach this year?
I guess the assistant coaching role is a very pure basketball role. You're very focused on the basketball, the preparation, the scouting, the execution of your team and helping the players improve. And I guess the head coach role has that, but it also has in addition a lot of the ceremonial tasks like talking to you guys and sponsors and a lot of the logistical tasks and all that kind of thing. So I guess it's not quite as pure basketball, but very important to get those underpinning aspects that allow you to play good basketball right.
An enjoyable career change?
And I think like it's a great challenge, you get better, and to try and build an organization to be better, you know, and help them in a lot of areas. The Hawks for a long, long time was one of the best associations and teams, and they have fallen on a little bit of hard times, and we are trying to rebuild it, and a lot of that rebuilding is in the infrastructure. Obviously there's what you see on court, but it's also in building the standing in the community and the support structures, and so a lot of hard work has gone on behind the scenes from our chairman, GM, board, for example, and the coach plays a large role in that too.
It appears you've made some great ground. If you had to pinpoint for this particular squad this year what their greatest strength is or could be, what would that be?
I think it's got to be our collectivity, both on offense and defense. We have to play together as a team, share the ball, screen for each other well, execute, be willing to make the extra pass. Then defensively, we need to defend to scheme and play intelligently and help each other, rebound as a group. I guess that's probably what most teams are hoping to, but you know, you can see even if you look at the stats tables and things like that, that some teams, you know, like Canterbury, their 3 imports lead the league in minutes, 1, 2, and 3. Our highest minute is 19th in the league. So, you know, I guess we're trying to do it a little bit by playing as a group. But if someone wants to come out and go for 35, it will not hurt anyone's feelings at the same time. But we need to share the ball.
Excellent. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
KB, you talked a little bit in the press about how the Saints have got a tendency towards ugly wins. What does a pretty win look like for this squad?
Still trying to find out. still waiting to see one. So, you know, maybe hopefully after today you'll check in. You know, next game I'll be able to tell you what one looks like. But I mean, it's something that we're focusing on. I mean, a win's a win. You know, people say that all the time, but you know, sometimes you can win and you still feel like you lose sometimes. So I'm hoping that, and I told the guys this morning that I'm hoping that I can actually walk in the locker room after halftime and at the end of the game and just feel like we really did our job that we sought out to do.
Are you talking about identity? Is it about finding an identity for this team?
Yeah, totally. We don't know what offensively I know what it is, but defensively we're still trying to figure out, you know, where we are as a club. And the best thing I think for us is you know, this is our first doubleheader, so it'll say a lot about our team after this. A lot of teams have already played doubleheaders, and this is our first. So, you know, you get better by playing games, and, you know, hopefully Friday's game woke us up a little bit, and, you know, now we're warmed up to play this game now.
Can you tell me a little bit about who the leaders are in the locker room this year?
It's weird, man. Like, you know, you have a team where it's different. You know, it's young. I was talking about it this morning with one of the players, and last year we You know, you had Damian Ignacio, 36 years old. You had Josh Dunker, who was 30. You had Todd Wesley at 32. You had Corey Webster, who was turning 30 this year. You had a lot of experience there, and a lot of guys who have played a lot of basketball. So, you know, we lost that this year, and, you know, our average age is probably about 22 and a half, 23 years old. So, you know, we're still trying to figure out who our leaders actually are. You know, I mean, it starts with the point guard, you know, Shea Illy. He says some things sometimes, but he's a naturally quiet guy, you know. So, you know, still trying to figure out, you know, the guys who can actually lead, you know, because it's not always by what you say, it's by example as well. And, you know, some of the guys do that, but it's just trying to get I guess this part, you know, the vocal part of it as well.
Good luck for a pretty game tonight, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Faces and a lot of young faces in the squad. I guess they might consider it somewhat a rebuilding phase for the Saints. Let's have a look at the squad. See Shea Illy out there. He is the man who makes things go, the league's leading scorer, number 55. Let's work bottom up. Shane Tamara, who's an excellent addition, a young fella with a Kiwi dad and American mother. Majuk, an import from Australia, had a massive double-double in his last time out. Ben Anthony Jr., he's been here for a while. You'll know him. He's an enforcer of great magnitude. Javan Mumtaz, new face. Leon Henry, also a stalwart of New Zealand basketball, fantastic Saint over the years. Jordan Ngatai, the breakout player of the season for me. Jordan Mills back in the squad, excellent to see him there. Sean Bruce from Australia, fantastic. Sixth man, Jackson Stubbins, Matt Bryan, and up there LJ Peak, the import from Georgetown, the Hoya Destroyer. Let's hope to see a massive game from him. He can jump out of the building as well as block shots, throw it down. Just saw a little 360 ram on the warm-up there. Here are the Hawks. They got a nice balanced squad. They get all kinds of contributions across the board. Number 21, Angus Brandt, big fella from Australia, from the Blue Mountains. Shout out to the family in the Blue Mountains. Dion Prewster, Wellington kid. Been a little inconsistent this year, but man, he's got skills to pay bills. Ethan Rusbatch, also a similarly strong Kiwi. Everard Bartlett, guy can shoot the lights out. Hiram Harris, Jamie Skeen, the import who lit Wellington up here last time he played. Jared Kenny as well, a famous face in New Zealand basketball and the leader for this team. Kareem Johnson, import, naturalised import. Been in New Zealand for a long time now, but originally from the States. Mitchell Newton, another one to look out for, a young kid from Gore, who's got a bright future ahead of him. And Nick Fee rounding out the squad there for the Taylor Hawks. And they are coached by the always impressive Zico Coronel, a former assistant coach here at the Saints and a mastermind of basketball, if I may say. Fantastic guy to talk to, just wealth of knowledge. Yeah, the last time these two met was on the 11th of this month in the same building, and the Saints beat the Hawks 93-85. It was the first loss of the season for the Hawks. They started red hot. They beat some good teams to get up to a 3-0 record, but then they got off to a good start against the Saints in that game. But a late run from the Saints gave them the W. Wasn't an easy one for them, with Jamie Skeen just having his way, lighting up. No one could really stop him. It was the job of LJ Peak, but he seemed more interested in retaliating offensively. He had 22 points on the night, LJ Peak. Shea Illy was a standout again in that game. Not just about no one in the league's got an answer for him at the moment. He had 26 and 8 assists last time these two played. It's Jared Kenny's job to try and stop him for the Hawks. The other notable thing from that game is the Hawks only have 5 points off their bench, and for a squad that goes 8-9 deep, they're going to need more than that. The Saints have won the last 8 games against Hawke's Bay, this franchise, and this stat doesn't bode well for the visitors. The Hawks have not won in Wellington since 2011. But history was made to be messed with, and the Hawks have their tails up here. They'll be fired up. They went down to Southland last week and got their butts handed to them. They turned the ball over 28 times. Rusbatch, Prooster and Skeen, I think, had 7 points combined, which is not great from 3 of your starters. And Southland gave them a little lesson, so they might be smarting from that and be a little bit like a caged dog, ready to be unleashed. Angus Brandt is an impressive unit, a double-double machine. And yes, Skeen has good memories of this building. He likes these rims. They've been friendly to him in the past. Good crowd in here tonight. Should be raucous. They've all come out for a Sunday afternoon bit of Sal's NBL action. Hopefully we can see LJ at peak this evening. Natai, who had an incredible stuff here a week ago on the defender's head. Majuk, 28 and 10 in his last game. Those good numbers. Shea, worth the price of admission for anybody. Amazing handles, gets to the rim, gets to the line, can wet the three. Just a star in the New Zealand basketball scene, Shea Ili. Saints average 101 points per game for the season, and the Hawks only 86. So either the Hawks need to dirty this one up, or they need to shoot the lights out. And we are underway. Majuk wins it. One of the Hawks has hit that out, haven't they? No, they retain possession. Dion Prooster. Good to see him back in Wellington. He had a pretty rough game last time here. He's one of their leading scorers. Early foul for Shea. Good to see them getting active though. The Saints have been slow starters this season. A lot of second half comebacks. Third quarter heroics needed to get their W's. They are 4-1 on the season, so after losing to the Sharks in the first game of the year, they're on a 4-game win streak. Sigma Saints. Kenny curling out top. Looking to find Brandt inside. Beautifully defended by Majuk. Great hands. He's a very skilled big man from South Sudan. Leon Henry deep in the corner. Had a strange angle on it. And it didn't look very good. He's going to have another crack? No. Majuk on the block. Has Kenny down there. Gives it up to Natai. Driving. Gets hacked. Not going to be on the floor. Baseline. They look to go through Majuk in the block early, typically. Play a little bit of inside out. There's Ely, 3-ball. Good. He shoots enough of them in the warm-ups, so he's always ready to go, Shea Ely. He's certainly never been a slow starter. Brewster, just the guards, dribble handoffs, looking to get switches that are favourable. Brewster, nice footwork, but can't finish. Here's LJ Peak leaking out against Kenny, who has no chance against the athleticism of LJ Peak. Kenny wants a screen from Skeen. No. Might get him on the block against Leon Henry. He's good help though, he's double teamed. Rusbatch shooting the 3, good. He can do a little bit of everything. One of the toughest competitors. hell-bent on winning, Ethan Rusbatch. Ely, 3-ball. Oh, in and out. He's not shy, Shea Ely, and he shouldn't be. This team needs a lot from him every night. Interesting little rhythm to start this game. Few ticky-tack reach-in fouls. Maybe that's the way the Hawks will want it. Saints will want to get out and run. Skeen on the block. Born to get buckets. Not this time. Back iron. LJ 101. Seems undersized for LJP, Jared Kenny. He's going to eat him up. Nice. Majuk with the extra work there on the glass to create a second shot opportunity. Majuk likes to work. We like him for that. Big screen from Brandt. Gets Brewster. A nice little knuckle jumper. A little bit slow to get into their sets. The Saints looking at each other, a little bit confused. And a lot of the clock's gone. We're down to 6. Shea Ely will have to do some heroics again. And rims out. Nice second chance again. Great board crashing from the front line of Leon Henry and Majuk. Ngatai, he can get to the hole. He will shoot too. So strong, Jordan Ngatai. I'd hazard a guess, he spends a bit of time at the gym. No good. Uses a lot of iron, but gets it to drop. Here's the defense chart. Earlier, Coach Kevin Braswell was saying he is not sure what defensive identity this crew has. Rusbatch, nice. Knifing through. Ely puts the Jets on. And Ngatai's open, but he gives it up for an easier 2. That's no good. Nice boards, Ethan Rusbatch. Kenny working with Skeen. Skeen's open, he can wet that. He gets Leon off his feet. And Rusbatch, 2 for 2 for Ethan Rusbatch. Gives the Hawks a lead. A lot of standing around. I'm going to go to Majuk on the block. He's got some moves down here. They double team him with Brewster. Good ball movement, finds Ely open. No good for 3 though. Shooting 37% on the season from 3, the Saints, so no great shakes. Brewster, lovely up and under. Gets his own board. Goes baseline on Peak. Back out to Skeen. No good either. They shoot 38%, the Hawks, for 3 on the season. Henry. He's probably the best shooter on the floor at the moment. He shoots up around the 50-60% range. His jumper is moist, to say the least. Brewster, nice cut into the key. Oh, he had a layup there. He's nice pump fake from Brandt. Gets Henry off his feet again. He'll go to the line. Brewster defers a little bit. He had the layup, and he gave it up. And I often say he's just too much of a nice guy. Sharing is caring. Dion Brewster. Sometimes I just like to see him let his talents loose. Brant, he's got a nice jump shot for a big man. Nice release. I'd like to welcome to the booth the brother from another mother, Stu Carruthers. Welcome, hello.
Hello, mate. How are you? Good to be here.
Good to have you.
I apologise for my tardiness. The neighbour's three-legged dog got caught in a tree. And I subsequently had to help him out, and then it was uphill both ways in the snow to get here, mate. So, well, here we are.
The life you lead. The man of mystery. LJ Peak. Has it stolen? Thought it might have come off his knee. Stewie, just to bring you up to speed. A few fouls early on. A little bit out of rhythm. A little bit strange. But the Hawks, they're executing. They look pretty tight. And the Saints just a little bit 6s and 7s. Not getting into their sets very early.
Saints coming off a bit of a grind game on Friday night, mate. And I think we've established in these few short games in the season, they're probably more of a third quarter team. So let's hopefully see if they can pick it up in the second quarter and certainly in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of relying on those third quarter heroics and a lot of reliance on Shea Ili late in the clock to do magical things. He's been called for a foul on that block, which is emphatic.
My thought patterns on a guard block on a chase down, give him a stat, mate. You know,
Yeah.
Let him have that ball back. He got hard, he hustled back. I thought it was clean up top. Whether he got him with a little bit of the body, I'm not so sure.
That's my, if I'm allowed to say, issue with officiating sometimes. That they don't look like people who've played the game much. And if you've played the game, that's when you make those kind of judgment calls where you're like, that's a big block. I'm going to let him have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the same vein as if someone got fouled and then the ball goes out of bounds. I mean, do you call the foul or do you just let the other team have the ball out of bounds? I'm genuinely of the mind to keep players in the game, so give them the out of bounds rather than the foul call.
Yeah.
Same can be said with blocks like that.
I think you need to have played to have that kind of feel. Otherwise, you just, well, I guess a lot of refs just see the game in very black and white terms. Sean Bruce into the game. Love this guy. Spark plug from Victoria, Australia. Ngatai. Clock winding down. Jacks it up. That's the kind of thing I was trying to fill you in on there, Stewie. A little bit of that stuff. Clock.
A little bit out of rhythm of sorts, are they?
Just being eaten up with kind of mucking around. I don't know. It just doesn't seem, there's no urgency. There's not.
Are they not getting into the offensive sets, or is
not quickly.
Hawke's Bay, are they just playing some very good deep?
Good question. You're right. I should give them credit for that. They definitely are a focused defensive squad.
And again, knowing this Hawks coaching squad with Zico, they're going to be very well scouted, so he would have made all kinds of adjustments from the last game these guys played.
There's Newton. Had a chat to him before the game. Interesting chat. Hails from Gore, the mighty Gore. And a lot of the players wear headphones in the warm-ups now, and so I'd like to find out what they're listening to. He told me he's tuning into a bit of Uncle Cracker.
I wouldn't have thought so. Now, I'm old school, mate, so I play a bit of Stevie Wonder and the like. But I think it's very hip-hop driven for the most part. But who knows? Each their own on that kind of thing, mate, I would have thought.
It depends what you're trying to bring out in yourself, isn't it? Do you need to G up or do you need to G down?
That's it.
I'd be a bit nervous. I'd probably go for some super tramp just to give me a bit more rhythmical, a bit more patient.
It's actually a wonderful, that's a great point you just brought up. I knew a couple of guys that needed to take a couple of drops of rescue remedy under the tongue just to calm the nerves, maybe they're a little bit anxious, so music can certainly help with that.
2:42 to play in the first, and the Saints down 6. They only have 8 points on the board. Boom!
Bang, big dunk. I think that's what they need to do. Penetrate from the top, break down those two guards at the top defensively, and then little dump offs to Majok. He's very strong around the rim, Glenn.
Certainly is. And a beast on the boards. He had 28 and 10 in his last game, Stewie.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was an absolute monster. And exactly what they just did. They were penetrating and then dumping off to him. He was just getting easy looks. I would imagine his percentages from the field must have been very nice.
It's good to watch. There's Newton, nice pick and roll, but he can't get it to finish in traffic. Bruce will pull up and stick it. That's his game.
Lovely heads-up play. Didn't have any options on the wing, and gorgeous pull-up from 17.
Jared, no respect for him. Has to go through Bruce's chest. No whistle. Don't mind that. There's Bruce coming back at them. Oh, a little bit short. BJ.
No, I wouldn't expect Coach Kevin Braswell to go too deep into his bench tonight. He went 10 deep on Friday against Manawatu, and it ended up being a fairly close game. But the young fella stepped up. Jackson Stubbins had a big three to help close it out.
Good to see. Rusbatch is 3 from beyond the arc. Stewie.
So he's come out hot.
Yeah.
Must be that change of climate, mate, going from the chilly south of Christchurch up to the Hawke's Bay. Help loosen up the shoulders.
Yeah, flourishing. Rusbatch in the Bay sunshine. Bruce seems to do a lot of work here. They're going through him a lot. He's getting good looks, but not knocking them down. Ooh, give her a Bartlett.
Looks like they got a clear up ISO up top. Look for Jared Kenny to high on ball and look for the corners.
Skeen, 3 ball is no good.
6 seconds left. They can get a good shot up. They've got to push. Sean Bruce, this is a good option.
He's a man for it. Oh,
they got a foul, puts it up. No. Heads up call from Sean Bruce. He's going to go to the line for 2 more. They have got continuation. Skeen just didn't get out of the way in time.
Oh, man, that's a tough call. Blocking. I thought he had position, had his hands straight up. But, yep, they rewarded Sean Bruce for the initiative. Clock management.
Knocks down the first, brings it to within 7. And they've still got 1 second on the clock, so the Hawks will get a chance to throw up an 80-footer.
I've seen one of those go down in this league for quite some time. Kenny heaves it. No good. And the first quarter comes to an end with the Hawks. Nice start, up 20-14 on the Saints. They'll be happy with that start. The Saints score over 100 usually per game in a season, and I'll credit their defense for bucking that trend for the Saints at this stage.
I think so, mate. These Saints, they are, I believe, leading the league in points per. So for the Hawke's Bay Hawks to hold them to 14 and a quarter, mate, that is phenomenal defense. And again, as we touched on earlier, Zico Coronel is a master of matchups and scouts, so he's obviously made a few adjustments.
Yeah, he seemed pretty fired up before the game, excited. And KB, when I talked to him, Stu, was they had some concerns. Still not that happy with the way things are going. A lot to work on. I mean, there's always something to work on when you're coached by Kevin Braswell. But
any kind of specifics? Because I know KB he's generally he's one of those coaches that's only happy when he's unhappy. Always something to work on, can always improve. So he could blow a team out by 30 and still think, well, he'll pinpoint an area in the third quarter where they could have done a little bit better. So did he bring up anything that he's
Well, he's been talking
pointed
about
out?
ugly losses, ugly wins.
Yes.
Those don't make him very happy. He loves the game, likes to see it played beautifully. And I asked him what that might look like for the Saints. What does the perfect game look like for this particular squad? Couldn't put his finger on it. And he mentioned that it's essentially a rebuilding kind of year. The team, a lot of new faces and no real leaders emerging at this point.
Yeah, I think KB and the team and even the fans would probably do themselves a bit of a disservice if they try to compare to the Saints of last year. Like you said, a few missing offensive-minded guys, and so far from the outside looking in, it just looks like they haven't quite gelled on offense. Now, defensively, they're doing not a bad job, but some of the teams are still scoring in the 90s and early hundreds, so it could just be some teething issues, but you would have thought they probably might have figured that out by now. But it's your ability to travel and win on the road. So if they can grind out a couple of good wins on the road, that'll maybe bring the unity and the gel back into the team, and then we can see some good home ball.
This season is slightly skewed towards home games in the first half of the schedule, though, isn't it, Stu? And then they're going on the road for quite a lot of the second
Yeah, so
part.
I think they're pretty much away most of June. So you and I are out of a job for a few weeks, mate.
Oh, man. Gone fishing.
Well, it's 4 or 5 less slices of pizza a month that I'll be eating, so it's good for the waistline at least.
I look forward to seeing how that progresses. BJ, beautiful position on the block, as always. That fella Harris getting some minutes for the Hawks scheme. Hits Grant on the block. Scott moves down there. Nice footwork. Left hand hook is good, and a foul. How's from the Blue Mountains, Stu? Have you been to the Blue Mountains in Sydney, Australia?
I have, mate. I spent a couple of years living in Sydney, and a friend of ours, we got right into barefoot running. So we used to take a little train out to the Blue Mountains from the city and get lost barefoot going for little jogs.
Wow.
Not the smartest idea because there's snakes and whatnot up there, but lovely part of Australia.
You didn't consider wearing those little shoes with the toes on them?
No, I can't do that because that means you need those toe socks, and I can't deal with that.
Okay. Noted.
And a little tidbit about the Blue Mountains. Every street name is named after a superhero. So there's Bruce Wayne Lane.
Ooh.
And there's Batman Ave. I kid you not.
The extent of your knowledge never ceases to amaze me, Stuart. Fantastic general knowledge. Here's Shaylee out top. Brandt just lets him go past and knocks down the knuckle jumper. Ely has 5.
Hawks trying their best to post up Brandt, but Majuk doing a very good job of keeping him off the low block.
Scheme. Yet to get his jump shot going. Big dog will go to work on the block again. Can't get the hook to drop.
A bit of news in the papers the last couple of days. Corey Webster signed an extra 3-year deal with the Breakers. Do you think we'll see him back in the Saints blue?
Ooh, good question. Do you think they go hand in hand just due to the coaching synergy?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Right. Nice drive from LJ Peak.
I know Corey's probably
Keeping
getting
it
to that point where he may not want to play both seasons. I know the ANBL can be a pretty big grind, especially with the Breakers having to travel more than most other teams. And then going straight into New Zealand NBL, it can tend to wear the body down. But I'm sure if he does sign on again with the Saints, KB will help him out with minutes and take care of his body.
Be a welcome addition. Yes, it seems KB has pulled off the mission to get his key players back together for a Breakers run.
coaches have a lot of sway, mate, you know, and KB is the consummate players coach. He's been there, he's been around the league, everyone respects him. He could probably still strap him up and give a few of these young bucks a run for their money, so. Oh, I thought Benny Anthony Jr. got robbed on that. Big fella moving his feet and getting what I thought was a clean block, but refs say otherwise.
He's a few years past getting superstar calls, Benny Anthony. Unfortunately, back in the day, he would have gotten more respect than that, I think.
No comment.
He's probably still 24 or something, is he?
He's still a young fella, mate. He just...
Okay. That's how good he is. He's been around since he was a young buck. And he strikes me as someone on the court as it could be a real important vocal leader for the squad. And Ely's a fantastic leader by example, but not a tremendously vocal guy.
I can touch on that, and you're absolutely right. BJ Anthony is one of the more vocal guys on the team. Now, he doesn't see a lot more minutes as he used to, but at practice, he's certainly quite chirpy. Talks a lot to your face down low, and yeah, Shea Ely, definitely the leader by example. BJ's been whistled again, bit of a demonstrative response to that. Lucky not to get a tee.
Putting in work. BJ, he'll take a little rest. Saints down 4, 7 to play in the half. So a very familiar arc to this story. Brewster, 3-ball, no good.
Shea looking to push.
And he's quick. Watched him doing the Steph Curry 2-ball warm-up.
Jared Penny not paying him any amount of respect, and Shea Ely just steps into a wide open 3, knocks it down.
Brand, nice patience. Ely pushing again and slices and finishes. He has 10 in the game. Ethan Rusbatch is the leading scorer at this point. 12 points made up of 4 triples.
Interesting observation from Friday night. First time this season, or really ever, that I've seen Shea Ely put his hand up for a sub. I think it was midway through the third, and he put his hand up over the bench. He was gassed. Now, he's a very, very conditioned athlete, so hopefully he's going to be all right to keep up this pace for the rest of the game on what is pretty much a back-to-back.
Wet. He's looking pretty good so far, but yeah, he logs a lot of minutes, and usage rate would probably be one of the highest in the league, wouldn't it? Relied on so heavily.
Yeah, I'd love to see the plus-minus. I don't know if NBL do stats like that, but I'm sure his plus-minus would be well in the plus.
He's got a Breakers season to look forward to as well, doesn't he? So you want to have something in the team for that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe he's re-signed. So a backcourt of him at the point, Corey Webster at the 2, Jordan Natai can play the 3-4. Breakers are looking pretty good.
Like Finn Delaney from Nelson. Shea Ely, number 55, Stu. I always find that a curious number of choice. It suggests to me a fan of Dikembe Mutombo.
Well, we saw him get a block earlier, mate, so I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows? It'd be wonderful if we could find that out. Oh, big block, met at the rim, Majok.
Speaking of finger waving, Ely the other way, no good. Man, rejection.
Everett Bartlett, fadeaway three. The pace of this game is starting to pick up.
Man, he has nice balance.
Nice lefty, can definitely shoot from range, and back in his day had a few hops, had a couple of bunnies in those legs. Great ball movement, three on the way, just short. Saints will get it back. Everett Bartlett unable to corral.
I mentioned a few weeks ago Everett Bartlett looked a lot like Drake, but I'd like to update that. I think he's a dead ringer for the guy from Westworld.
I'll have to take your word, mate. I've never seen it.
Oh. Okay.
LJ Peak back into the ball game, looking to break down Newton. Got an ISO opportunity. Crosses up. Gets to the cup. Friendly bounce and one.
Oh, wait. That is nice.
Strong move. Little left to right crossover. Kept the ball away from the defender and got the friendly roll. I think LJ needs to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of doing that kind of stuff, maybe a bit more often, because he's strong as an ox.
Oh, man. Not many people can stop him with a little head of steam. He's got nice handles as well. It was interesting when I watched his kind of scouting videos. It was just him shooting threes, and I thought that's what we were going to get from him. But I think that as a slasher driver, it's really his strength.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I YouTubed a few of his highlight packages from Georgetown, and yeah, certainly looked to shoot a few more three balls. But I guess in a league like this where athleticism isn't around as much, he can certainly shine in that department. Great little heads-up play.
He's come from out of bounds.
Jordan Nuttall able to step up to a corner three and knocks it down. The Saints have taken the lead. About time.
Grant drop step short. Not defended by Majuk. LJ Peak looking to get going.
Oh,
man.
not enough under the legs. Couldn't extend. Three on the way. Way off. Leon Henry still struggling from afar, mate.
Not used to seeing that. It's odd. LJ Peak to see if he can get to the hole again. He finds his buddy Majuk.
Great ball swinging.
Oh, man.
Majuk. Oh! Rattles around. No foul call.
I thought he was going to yam that alley. Hawks will set up. Go to Brandt again. No. The lane opens up for Bartlett. No good. Brandt, nice finish. Cleaned it up.
Both teams struggling to finish some easy ones around the rim. And the Taylor Hawks have taken another 1 point lead. Hard to put your finger on what's going on with both of these clubs.
Both quality squads, I guess, feeling each other out. The Hawks have just been a little inconsistent this season, and they're slumping a bit at the moment. So that's probably their excuse. I don't know. They've some inconsistent performances offensively from their starters. And for the Saints, slow starting, man. It's just, that seems to be always what happens. Just, I don't know what it is. The warm-ups aren't right. It takes them a while to get engaged, unified, pumped.
Well, I think if you break both squads down, the Hawks are certainly, they've got a couple of guys that can score and have been known to score, but they certainly look a bit more defensive-minded. And Zico is more of a defensive-minded coach. The Saints, again, fairly similar. Have a few guys that can score and have been known to do it. They rely on Shea Ili probably more than you would like to see, and maybe the guys just can't quite get used to that. Last year, they had a good 1-2 punch with Corey Webster and Shea, and then Ty Wesley was able to clean things up inside. So maybe just a few touches for different guys in different spots might get them going a little bit.
One of the stats I've been noticing about the Saints this season is the assist numbers are really low at the half. And then they take a huge leap in the second half as they make their runs. At the moment, Shea's got none. He's got 13 points, no assists.
Yeah, so it looks to me that he's just trying to penetrate, go one-on-one himself, which is, we're not used to that with the Saints team.
There has been some nice ball movement around the perimeter, then just not knocking down the threes. Not a great three-point shooting team this year.
Majock on the low post. He's going to eat Newton up. Goes for the dunk. Man. Foul down low.
No respect.
Just manhandled him. Newton had great defensive positioning and got a wide base. Majock. Too strong.
In terms of sneaker watch, Stu, you've been catching your eye out there?
Well, I did notice LJ Peak Friday night was wearing some teal KD 10s. He's now gone for the PG 2s, I believe they are. So he's changed his sneakers up. And he has been playing in LeBron's all season. So maybe it's a weight thing, or maybe he's just got a closet full of sneakers he likes to change up and keep it fresh.
So those little fluorescent touches on that kick, are they an Oklahoma thing for Paul George?
Yeah, I guess so.
It remind me of the Agassiz, which I've seen on you at times.
Very good. I love an Agassi.
But lefty, luscious lefty. Love a good. Why do left-hand people shoot better, Stu? It's bizarre. You're one, aren't you? You're a dirty lefty.
I am. Oh. I'm a lefty myself. Now, it's more to do, you have a massive advantage in basketball being a left-hander because there's not many of us around. And most guys are more used to defending the other way, so they push off another foot, they contest to the other hand. So when you're a lefty, everything's reversed. So you get cleaner looks more often. So I think it has a little bit to do with that. It's just a huge advantage in almost any sport.
Well, I'm going to powder my nose and head to the court to do the halftime interview, Stu. Enjoy the last minute and a half, and we'll see you soon.
All right, mate. Thank you for that, and I'll take over the play-by-play. Sean Bruce able to bring it over the timeline. He's going to take his time, 38 apiece. Jordan Natai looking to work off a screen. Very stagnant offense. Not a lot going on. Majock putting up a prayer at the buzzer. Leon Henry comes away with the offensive ball, but the ball didn't hit the rim, so that's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. And the Bay Hawks bringing the ball out of bounds. Bartlett probing down to the corner for Jared Kenny. Makes the move inside. Reverse pivot. Gets caught in the air. Skeen puts up a floater. Able to bank it in off the backboard. Hawks up 2. Saints could go quick and get a 2-for-1. Let's see what they're going to do here. Majock, great position. Couldn't quite get his hands on the ball. Turnover. And the Hawks will have an opportunity to close this quarter out up 2. Another ISO play. Skeen going one-on-one, goes baseline. Leon Henry, great block up top. Out of bounds off him, 7 seconds to play in the half, 2 to go on the shot clock. Hawks are gonna have to go quick, and then the Saints will get the opportunity to close out. Zico Coronel calling a timeout. Let's see what he's got in the playbook. And Kevin Braswell will draw up something defensively. A couple of thoughts about the game from Friday. We wouldn't live stream it against the Manawatu Jets. Saints got up 109 to 103. Ball game a lot closer than that scoreline. The young fellas for the Jets really impressive, hitting open threes in the clutch, and then Karan Iverson, the import for the Manawatu Jets, very impressive, long, lean, can shoot a little bit, but ultra aggressive. The imports for the Jets doing a great job with getting the young fellas involved, and the Jets made a really good game of it. But I think they just ran out of experience in the fourth quarter. Coach Kevin Braswell's Saints able to close it out kind of handily in the end. Just a few veteran heads-up plays, and then the Jets a couple of crucial turnovers toward the end, cost them the ball game. Here we go, out of the timeout, 2 seconds on the shot clock. You would expect an inbounds play with a corner three. So they got a 4-man lineup across the free throw line, or they could get something close to the rim. They went too early. Alley-oop. And we've got a 24-second shot clock violation. So it was a double screen with a lob inside, and they didn't get a good shot. So now the Saints, 4.7 seconds left in the half. Coach Kevin Braswell calling the timeout, and he's going to bring the ball up quick to try and tie up this ball game. Let's see what they can produce. Big shout out to Sal's New York Style Pizza, the naming sponsor of this year's NBL. Fantastic pizzas, great pepperoni, good sausage, good meal deals too. So if you're struggling to perhaps get into the pantry, give Sal's a call. They'll set you straight, especially with these NBA playoffs on. Pizza and basketball go hand in hand. Gorilla with that t-shirt cannon. KB drawing up a play. See what he's got cooking. Always good to see in these timeouts which players are engaged, which guys kind of look like they're just floating around. You would want every team, every player on the team to know the play they're running. Neon Leon Henry started off the season pretty cold from the three-point line, usually his bread and butter. Let's see what they've got. Got to go a bit quicker than that. Half-court shot, puts it up. Yes, so broken play. Leon Henry picked up his dribble and had to put up a 40-foot prayer. And we will go into the half with the Saints down 2. And very shortly we will have my Chatterbox teammate, Glenn Peklowski, hopefully with a halftime interview. Let's see what he's got cooked up. Standing there by himself. Don't know if we've got anyone happy enough with the first half performance to have a chat about it. Our apologies. But we've got some halftime entertainment. Some young special athletes looking to get up and down. Now this is a highlight of every Saints season. They tend to do this every year. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch. Our apologies. No halftime interview, so we can't get any kind of insight. But we will talk you through this halftime entertainment. Big fella going all the way in. Laying it up. Bucket. Look at that swagger running down the court. Here we go. Great pass through the top. Looking to break it down. Great handle. She's looking to take it all herself. No one's going to stop her. Puts it up. Boom! Rattles around the rim. Not quite down. Turnover. See what number 15 can produce. Brings it in to 24 on the inside. He's a man mountain. Block shot. This guy's just running after stats, looking for a triple-double a la LeBron James. Quick outlet, stolen away, number 6. Quick hands in the middle there. Looking to offload. Finds an open recipient, number 13 going baseline again. Puts up another shot. Bottom of the net. She's getting huge amounts of high fives, and then she's subbed out. So she catches fire, and then she's subbed out. Well, sometimes coaches make odd decisions, and you just got to run with it. The big fella going for another block. He has no mercy. Maybe his contract states that he gets monetary compensation for each stat that he picks up. A bit of showtime on the inbounds. Great crossover to the middle. Lefty, just short. Here comes the big fella, bringing it up left side. Great offload. Three-pointer on the way, short. Maybe another little block there. Number 20's getting after it, going for rebounds. Yeesh. What's this bloke's name and number? I got to get him on my Saturday Night Club League. He's going all the way. Boom, lay it down. This guy is nice. Someone look to get him a contract, please. So once again, Sal's authentic New York style pizza. Wonderful, wonderful slice. Wellington has a store on Cuba Street, so if you're local, head down there. A couple of TVs inside where you can watch a good sports game. They have the NBA going quite a lot, and I like to mix it up with a couple of the garlic knots. Again, this cold Wellington weather, a Sal's pizza and a garlic knot will set you straight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this halftime show, and we will be back on air very shortly.
There's a lot to be said about you Kiwis. You like breaking new ground? You're the best in your field? Stand up for what you believe in. But when it comes to pizza, you can't beat authenticity. Sal's authentic New York pizza.
Hi guys, Tom Abercrombie from the Tall Blacks here. I bet you didn't know, but the TAB are big funders of basketball in New Zealand, and Mark's here with a cool new offer.
Yeah, it is pretty exciting for basketball fans out there. If you haven't got a TAB account, download the app and use the promo code BBall20. Do a $20 deposit, we'll match it, so your balance will be 40 plus we give Basketball New Zealand $20 as well. Pretty good offer.
So if a new customer signs up, they get a $20 bonus, plus Basketball New Zealand gets $20 as well.
That's right, Alex, it's a pretty good deal. Do remember, BBall20 in the promo code when you download the app and put in an account. Enjoy it, have fun, basketball's a great game.
Once again, the Nevada Special Olympics basketball team. Leading scorers tonight for the Saints, Shaden with 13, LJP with 9, Jordan Nato with 7, and for the visitors, Angus Brett with 13 points, Ethan Muscat with 12, and Everard Partner with 5 points. The Nevada Special Olympics basketball team will be out of the crowd. Collecting fundraisers. So if you could give a golden coin donation as they come around, please give generously.
Welcome back to the TSB Arena in Wellington City for this game, the NBL Sal's NBL action. We've got the Cygnus Saints and the Taylor Bay Hawks. Really close one, Stu, 40-38 to the Hawks after 2 quarters. You enjoying yourself?
Loving it, mate. Always loving being down at TSB any given night for the Saints home games. Just a little bit frustrating with how they tend to play, and especially how they start games.
Yeah, a third quarter blitz is on the cards. They've been doing it routinely. It's been fun though, even if it is not the way that Coach KB would want them to play. It has been fun to watch. Scoring, Shea Ely carrying the load again with 13. Angus Brandt leading the Hawks with 13. The big dog down low has been putting on a post move clinic. Ethan Rusbash, 4 of 4 from three-point land for his 12 points. LJ Peaks had some nice slashes for 9. But yeah, no breakout performances yet. Nothing surprising. Fairly low-scoring game, the way the Hawks would want it.
Low scoring and pretty spaced out scoring from individual players, which is odd considering the low amount of assists we've got. It looks like a lot of guys are having to create late in the shot clock and seeing when they can get up. So a pretty defensive battle we've got on our hands, which is great. I love seeing it. It's pure basketball. You win and lose games on defense, but I'm sure these fans want to see a little bit of showtime at the same time.
We're getting used to it in this day and age across the various leagues we're retreated to in the world. Certainly become a run and gun, 3-ball sport. But yeah, it's nice to see a gritty, grindy one every once in a while.
I do like watching them. It's certainly what I grew up playing and what I'm used to. But guys with the back to the basket game, like the likes of Majuk, they are slowly being, I guess, skilled out of the game. Guys like him need to be able to shoot the 3 now, and most guys it's a pick and pop game rather than a pick and roll. That's just the way the game is headed. You can even tell in some of the guys' bodies. Guys are a lot leaner and slimmer and taller and longer. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, guys were a bit bulkier.
But the three-point shooting, I mean, Majuk's got a case to ask for the ball for his relevancy. He's got a case for his relevancy and to ask for it on the block. The three-point shooting hasn't exactly been lights out.
No. So I guess, oh geez, you put me in it there. A bit of a catch-22. Whilst both teams, and certainly the Saints, probably want to look to shoot more threes. If it's not going down, you've got to have a backup plan, don't you?
Yeah. Field goal percentage-wise, the Saints only shooting 37% in this one, 14 of 37. The Hawks a little bit better at 40%, taking 35 shots. From three-point land, the Hawks 45%, 5 of 11. Saints only 4 of 13 for 30%. Battle of the boards goes to the Saints, 24 to 21. Points in the paint, even at 14. And we've had 3 block shots in this game. 2 of them to the Saints. A couple of emphatic ones that have been ruled fouls, unfortunately, but good to see people getting after it.
Yeah, I think we have to give a bit more credit than what we have been to the defense. You can't just always blame shoddy offense. You've got to give credit to defense, mate. Like I said earlier, KB and Zico Coronel both hang their hats on tough-nosed, gritty defense. So.
Got a little feeling that Skeen will have a point to prove in this second half. He's a bit better than his current total of 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Skeen was the lights out last game, dominated the Saints. So they need to get him a few more touches, and he can give it to you from any which way. He likes to post up on the high block. He can shoot the mid-range, and he stepped it out to 3 the last game as well. A bit of a nightmare matchup.
I think he had 3 in the last game against Southland, though, down south last week. They're three of the leading scorers, Rusbatch, Prewster, and Skeen, had 7 points between them against Southland. There's something going on there.
Gee willikers, yeah, that'll be something I'll have to sort out. You can't have your 3 main offensive guys only scoring 7 between you. That's unheard of.
There's that defense you're talking about, Shea Ely, active hands.
Always got the hands in the cookie jar. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, but sometimes he gets an M&M and white chocolate cookie coming his way. Pushing on the break.
Great to dunk in a cup of tea, Stuart. as an aside. Yeah, Kenny drove into the teeth of the D there and tried to hook up his teammate, ended up just turning it over. And
So
the
they
Saints
got a
came the other way.
foul on the floor. I thought they got him in the act of shooting. Not so. Inbounds past to Majuk, and they'll reset.
Nice laser pass inside to Henry, but he rushes it a little bit. Gets it, another try. Gives it up. Ngatai, 3 ball. No good. Over the back, indeed. So Brand rewarded for his positioning.
Comparing apples to oranges with 2 guys from the Saints this year, Leon Henry just doesn't look confident on the offensive end. And Jordan Ngatai, who's always been a confident player, but he's looking to have much more of an impact offensively this year than previous.
Yeah, a little bit of role reversal. Nice handoff from Brandt. Skeen trying to get it back to him though. Credit to Leon Henry for recovering. Disrupting that play.
Skeen just a step too slow on that bounce pass. He's been fumbling the ball a lot this game already. It is pretty cold outside though, mate, so maybe that's affected his hands.
Yeah, I think he's a Carolina boy.
He should be used to it.
Leon, 3. No good again.
Great shooters just shoot. Ray Allen had a wonderful podcast on the JJ Redick podcast, and he was just talking about just shoot. If you're a shooter, just shoot. Shoot your way over slump. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
I'm sure he's still got the green light from Kevin Braswell, and it's been on for nearly a decade for Leon Henry. Majuk can't get that one to drop from point blank range. Ooh, not pretty. Skeen wants it on the block. Ngatai, good strength. Just pushed him off of a spot. You think Ngatai can bench Stu?
I've never had the pleasure of being in the gym with him, but he's certainly put on a lot more size and got himself in a bit better shape since he's been with the Breakers. So, in the vicinity of probably 140, I would have thought.
Ballpark. Nice. Nothing to scoff at. Rusbach, baseline, uncontested. He's having himself a solid little game. 14 for Ethan Rusbach.
Now, speaking of podcasts, Glenn, there is a very good New Zealand NBL podcast run through New Zealand Herald, and they update every week, I believe, after the games. I enjoy a podcast on my 1.5K runs down to the corner dairy. You know, just something to keep the mind off the pain that I put myself through when I'm conditioning for a basketball season.
Whatever it takes, Stuart. I know that you're no stranger to a podcast while working the Dyson. Vacuuming
Wonderful.
the lounge.
Wonderful. Yeah, keep the missus happy, get a bit of knowledge. That's a good little afternoon in my books.
Boxes ticked. Here's Kenny. Boy, he likes to just put his head down and drive. Nice finish with the left hand.
Gorgeous move. Able to draw a bit of contact and switch the left hand midway through.
Gravy.
Lovely touch off the glass.
Ngatai on Skeen. He cuffs the ball.
Oh, they've got an offensive foul. Jordan Ngatai perhaps using that offhand when he shouldn't be. They tend to call more of that kind of stuff when you extend. You can get away, veteran trick, you can bump a little bit with the elbow and the forearm, but as soon as you extend out, refs will pretty much call that every single time. Rusbach misses a gorgeous move.
That might be his first miss. Dude's been deadly. Majuk, go to work, son.
Kicks
it
out.
out.
LJ Peake can get that going, if he can be run off the three-point line and get that little step back too, that's going to open up his opportunities a lot more in the second half. He's much more aggressive that way.
A few question marks over LJ Peake's defense this season. I think it was him that Skeen went to work on last time.
Confidence. Bang! Knocks it down. LJ Peake starting to get it going.
Yes. Gorgeous jump shot.
Still down 3. Just coming out of this half time, looks like Jared Kenny's decided to take this offensive load on his shoulders.
Nice block, Jordan Nartai from Ruspatch. Into the reverse. Shea taking him on himself. Good closeout from Ruspatch. Nartai running Brandt finishes the defensive play.
Big
Nice
kick
ball.
ahead to Ruspatch, goes to the left hand, misses it. Heads up play, great kick forward from Dion Priester. Crosses up, foul on the way in, count the bucket. We're going to get one more coming.
It's peak season.
No, they waved it off.
That's his second foul. LJ Peake to the line, shooting block.
Now I thought he got fouled on the way in, picked up his dribble, and then made the lap. Now I thought that's continuation. I'll have to read up on that rule.
Disillusion. Stu, what is life?
Give the people what they want, mate.
He's got it going though. Little heat check.
And he's certainly looking to
Heat
score
check
now.
time. Better work, LJ. Ooh, Skeen.
Hit it at the rim that time.
Raced. Priester. I don't think he's got a bucket in this, does he? He's got 2 points. Kenny. That's that controversial little James Harden step back there, Stewie, that Kenny just threw down. Looks a bit like a travel to me. Looks like 3 steps.
Yeah, there has been a rule change in FIBA with what's called now the 0 step, I believe, where you can take a step after the catch and then still get 2 more steps after that. So it would appear like you're having 3 steps. So very, very similar to what James Harden does on those step backs. It's hard to get used to. There is a YouTube video that shows you what you look at, but it just looks so awkward. Again, I think it's more designed to allow players to be a bit more free, to allow a bit more scoring, and I think it's more of a rule for the fans.
Priester had nice position in there. That last play. Looking to get himself going at short range. Nice push. He's gone cold.
Both teams gone cold. Last 2 minutes. Great little dump off.
Good hand scheme.
Quick hands, 14 left on the shot clock. Everett Bartlett coming back in. Saints ball from the baseline. Both teams are struggling to put the ball in the hoop. They've had certainly plenty of opportunity, and both teams are trying to be aggressive.
What was the score at half time? We only scored 10 points. We don't think we've seen 10 points.
40 to 38 was the halftime score.
Filthy. Oh, there's a lid on it. That's the problem.
There is. There's a lid, is there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Majuk can't get that to drop.
Shall we send you down there at quarter time and you can perhaps take that off? They've got Jared Kenny on a massive push-off. He's going to have a word to the referee. Now, you would think a Kiwi veteran would maybe get that call in his favour over an Australian importer who's on his first season here.
No one said life was going to be fair, Stuart.
Exact same call on Shea Ili, no whistle. Jared Kenny doing a little bit extra cricket activity there, trying to milk it. Good inside, outside.
Oh, beautiful.
So that's what I think Leon Henry needs to do. If his shot's not there, his confidence isn't that high, there are certainly other ways you can get involved and then get your confidence up. A couple of little assists, maybe some snatch down rebounds. Get yourself back in the ball game.
He's athletic. He's got great height. Got a good view passing into the block. He needs to get this to get going. Oh, man. Cannot buy a bucket. Ellie dispossessed. Must batch. See his foot on the line?
Yeah, foot on the line. Long too. Sean Bruce bringing the ball up.
Bruce only has 4 in this game. He's averaging around the 16 mark.
Bang, bang.
Oh, cute.
Sean Bruce getting both these teams off the snide. About time we had a bucket. I was getting a bit restless up there in the commentary booth.
Kenny penetrating. Grant, nice. Tip jam. Love the work. Grant is a blue collar beast.
And Jared Kenny started the quarter being much more aggressive going to the hoop. They need a lot more of that because it forces help. And then guys like Brand can make a bit of a living on putbacks.
Disappointed. He's moving his feet. Oh, yeah, they're calling that contact.
That's his 3rd personal.
Kenny's very good at that power dribble, kind of cuff the ball, get right into the teeth, and then make a decision.
Yeah. Now he's usually very good at making a decision as he goes, but I have noticed he's been jumping and been caught in the air and then having to make a decision. But you're right, he's ultra strong. He lives in the gym, and then wrapping the ball up and then getting to the rim is certainly his forte. He can create for himself and for others.
It's an excellent asset when your team is lacking for rhythm and options to have somebody who can do that.
Now we just need a minute and a half of fast-paced, high-energy ball. Get the crowd back into it. Maybe a dunk or two. You know, it's a very low-scoring game, Glenn.
Yeah.
I don't know if this crowd's going to get me free pizza tonight.
Highly doubt that. Ooh.
Wow, hey, if that had gone down, that could have been what we needed.
Well, way after the whistle, he nearly ended up on his back. High risk, post-whistle maneuver.
High risk, low reward. Yeah, hey, that may have been just a backboard slap for me.
A frustration, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Much like Kevin Garnett used to block shots above the rim after the whistle out of frustration.
Bartlett, left hand, wet.
Well, that's what the Hawks needed, getting them the 1-point lead with a minute to go in this third quarter. Again, both teams just still look pretty flat.
But the result hangs in the balance. Could go either way. Which is a good thing.
Boom! That's what we need. Big penetration at alley-oop. Yeah.
Jock moves beautifully off the ball. Puts himself in a good position.
They've got Skeen with an offensive foul at mid-court. Jordan Natai playing the puppet, flaying his arms a little bit. Now, Jordan Natai is a big, strong guy. He looked like he got laid out on that.
Tough night at the office for Skeen. 2 points, a rebound, 2 assists to his name. He's better than that. Man, he didn't start to pick his production up. Might be checking grab-a-seat flights to Charlottesville.
Oh, mate, I was about to touch on that. The life of an import in any league is almost game to game. I know some owners and some organizations pretty ruthless with sending guys home. So consistency for these guys that come in is very key. Great dump off Majuk. Shea Ili just making things happen right now. Hawks will hold for the last shot. They couldn't come up with anything substantial last time. They certainly got this time.
Oh, Grant again. That seems to be their only option at the moment. Someone to drive and draw defenders and then let Brandt finish.
Yeah, so that's the second rotation for the Saints not doing their job. You've got to help, and you've got to help the helper. So where Brand and Newton on the Hawks are going to make a bit of a living is on those kind of plays. You know?
Staying home on the shooters, though, those other defenders.
Yeah, and that's, again, where it gets difficult with the way basketball is evolving into more of a shooting sport. It's hard not helping out. Three-quarters of basketball action in the books, Glenn Peklowski.
Every point hard earned.
What do you think? So you think they're just thinking about it too much? They need to go out there and have a bit more fun.
I don't know what it's like. I haven't played at this level, Stewie, but yeah, maybe the refs could just let it open up a little bit. I don't know. Let's get some end to end.
What is the foul count, by the way? Fouls a quarter, which is the limit until both teams go into the penalty. So, yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think these refs could potentially put the whistle away, let these guys just play. It is a man's game. We talk about that almost every week. A little bit of contact doesn't hurt anybody.
Definitely affects the rhythm, doesn't it? The flow of a game. Or is the other thing you do, no, it doesn't seem to be working. I mean, if they whistle tighter, does it make the defender back off a little bit, not play quite as hard, and then we end up with a free-flowing game? Is that?
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you're being whistled for. So one thing I've noticed in this game especially is they're being called, the defensive guys are being called a lot more for little bumping fouls. So whether they have to take another half a step back just to create a bit of space and not get those calls. But then the problem with that is you don't want to give up points, you know, so you've got to be aggressive.
Yeah, and physicality will be what both coaches want. Zico was in the news all week talking about wanting more mongrel from his team, more aggression. They didn't show up in Southland, and they paid the price for it. Here's Prewster being aggressive. 3 balls, good.
There we go, good start the quarter.
Good to see Dion just letting it fly. Doesn't seem to play as well in his hometown.
Which is odd, because you would think Dion coming home, maybe a bit of mama's special chop suey.
Home cooking. Natai, nice move. Bartlett, lovely pump fake.
Everett Bartlett.
Fundamentals.
Hawks have come out the gate 2 for 2 from long distance, and they've got themselves a little 3-point buffer. Here we go.
Indeed. LJ, what's he got from range? No good. Skeen wraps it up. The crowd is absolutely halfway home.
Yeah,
not vocal.
It is a bit quiet here. It's a good crowd, good sized crowd. Maybe Sunday afternoon, everyone's probably had a couple of too many wines last night. Who knows? It's all conjecture at this point.
Bartlett again. Oh, good.
Great box out by Jordan Nuts. Shea Ellie. And they got Angus Brandt coming over the back.
Brandt has 17 and 13 rebounds on the night.
Yeah, he's a monster. That's a great pickup for the Taylor Hawks. I wonder where they found him. I know you mentioned the Blue Mountains earlier, but I mean, the township's not that big. There can't be a lot of basketball out there.
Maybe he had to represent the Blue Mountains by himself. As such, developed.
I see.
Exceptional skill. Step on the sideline. Shea. Majuk, 12 rebounds tonight. Earning his paycheck, as per usual. See if the defense chant can get this crowd back into it. Brandt, he's been the man of the night. Left hand hook, good.
Giving a bump, second bump. Just the shoulder and then just gorgeous lefty hook falling out of bounds.
Loves the contact and then has softest touch to finish. Shea reaching. There's Jamie Skeen.
Yeah, that's a matchup that the Saints have to take control of. Skeen's not going to be able to stay in front of Shea Ellie, and if he backs off too much, and Shea's certainly capable enough to shoot the three.
You need lateral quickness if you're going to stay with the Saints' leading scorer. I'd like to see pick and roll with Majuk. These two have been combining well. Fakes Kenny out of his boots. Gets the jumper. Skeen and Henry. They go to work. They want a Brandt, but Majuk, good work to push him off of his spot. Brewster wants to take Ngatai.
Great D. Great D. Jordan Ngatai moving his feet. Dion Brewster's a bit quicker than he is.
Alley-oop. No good. Shea.
Gorgeous shooters roll. Shea Ellie's starting to get it going. That's what these Saints need. Looks like he might have to take over the fourth quarter again, Glenn.
More than capable. Good help from Henry. Excellent help. Great hands. 3-on-2. Henry might keep going. Oh.
Again, confidence-wise, no one got in front of him. Leon maybe a little bit worried about the block, looking to dump it off.
Oh, back in the day, Leon would have elevated.
Oh, and it would have been nasty.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a close finish on our hands. 6 minutes to play, 1 point game. The Hawks hanging in there, looking to beat the Saints in Wellington for the first time since 2011.
That is a record I didn't know. So that would do wonders for this ball club's confidence, not only just to get the win in this building, but also moving forward in the season.
T-shirt time in the arena. You're keen for one, Stuart, as always?
Well, I had to work earlier today, mate, and Sunday's usually my washing day, so I'm a little bit behind. So a free tee would square me up nicely for tomorrow.
Must have seen you balling in the park on the odd occasion, wrapped around your head, do-rag style.
Yeah, in my heyday, but concrete courts aren't so forgiving on the old knees nowadays, mate.
Back the young fellas down and make them taste your sweat.
That's the one. That's the one. Those young kids got to learn somehow.
It's wonderful what you do for the community, going out teaching youngsters lessons on the hard top. Charity of sorts.
Yeah. No blood, no foul out there, mate. You know how it goes.
Prison rules. Juk and Illy combining so well lately. Illy's feeling it.
Oh, filthy. Raising up with an extended hand. Shea Illy.
Saints regain the lead.
Some double handoff action.
They're trying to get Bartlett open. It's complicated. That is a prayer, not answered. Zico won't be happy about that.
Saints taking a 2-point lead after that Shea Illy 3. They're going to look to slow things down a little bit. Clock is on their side. It's a tight ball game.
Yeah. Great recovery by Brandt to get back there. The switching is excellent by the Hawks, but the intensity on the glass is even better by the Saints. Brewster on Henry. Gets by him with ease. Nice move, Dion. Dion on Leon. It's the matchup they want. The Juk inside. Camped in
Dion.
there.
Smart foul from Dion Brewster. Was probably going to wear a dunk, and they've got a couple of fouls to give up.
Hawks seem to be switching everything, Stu. That's a trend creeping into basketball these days.
Yeah, again, it stems from the bigs having to play multiple positions, which means you've also got to defend multiple positions. So a lot of guard to big switches. I don't think that style of play has quite hit New Zealand shores just yet in terms of, I think, the evolution of play and also the bodies. Guys still a bit heavier and still used to defending the block rather than defending guards.
It looked like the Saints were trying to get the Skeen on Illy matchup that last offensive set and work it.
Skeen's got length though, so he could give Shea Illy a bit of a cushion and just have an extended arm and could still contest. I think he's just, yeah, I think he's just a step too close, mate.
Yeah, Kenny, 3, no good. Saints up 4 with 4 to play. In rhythm, Leon Henry just doesn't have it tonight from range. He's done a little bit of everything else, but nothing from free ball land. The Juk, oh, the battle down there. Skeen grabbing his ankle. This could be the end of an unpleasant night for Jamie Skeen. He's still on the floor.
Yeah, certainly a bit shaken up, clutching that right ankle, I believe.
Even the Juk just had a minor cage fight down there. It's come off worse.
Now, what does he do? Does he gut it out for 3.5 minutes? Or does he come off and risk being sent home? It's a question you've got to ask, mate.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a choice. They brought Newton in. I would have thought they'd gone for Bartlett.
I mean, you've got to respect these imports a lot. Coming into a country that's a million miles away from anywhere else, even getting here is a big ask. And then having to keep a consistent level of play, because there's always that in the back of your mind. I know it's ruthless. It may seem pretty ruthless, but I mean, I'm sure people have heard that basketball is a business as well.
It's Shea Ely's business right now.
Shea Ely's giving them the business.
He is the CEO of this entire league. And he gets the steal. The trend of second half heroics continues for the Saints. LJ Peak. Slicing and dicing. Brewster trying to push it back at them. Check in for Skeen, being asked to keep the Hawks in it. And he's money from the free throw line. Props to him. Full court pressure from Kenny Shea Ely. Ely again, being asked to make plays. Working with Majuk. Oh, there's nothing on there. I think he's hit the baseline of the bounce pass. Hawks staying alive. Here comes the sharpshooter. Gerard Bartlett, star of Westworld, season 2. Rusbatch has been a bright spot for the Hawks tonight. He continues.
Ethan Rusbatch just off to a hot start in the first half of the game and just wasn't utilised, I think, in the second half enough.
Majuk!
Oh, nearly a poster.
Cock the hammer. It's time for action. Here come the Hawks. Kenny. That too.
Well, don't write this Taylor Hawks team off just yet, mate. 4 quick points. Only 20 seconds off the clock.
I thought the scoreboard hadn't updated. Only a 3-point game. 1:46 to play. Look at the tired faces in that huddle. Crowd's back into it. Incredible the power of a free t-shirt. Some lucky kid is going home with a double XL.
With my name written all over it, Glenn. Filthy.
Quite like a t-shirt. Just said Stu, 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 Stu. I don't know why. Get a lot of comments. Here we go. 1:46 to go.
Big possession on the way here.
Saints need a bucket. Oh, Henry under duress. Rusbatch getting into it.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. No need to rush.
Going through Ely again. I think it's Brant on the inside.
She's got a foul away from the ball. And the Saints are going to shoot 2 because the Taylor Hawks are over the foul limit. That
As he fouled out. Ooh.
That kind of call kind of kills it for me. When it's a close game, you want the players to make the decisions on how the game should end, not the refs. And I understand you've got to keep to the rules, but I don't think that whistle really inhibited the game.
But Majuk as a 60% free throw shooter, maybe it was a nice little sacrifice play.
Yeah, hey, maybe the coaching staff are a lot smarter than we are. In fact, I'll put money on it.
Ooh.
Short on both attempts.
Here we go, Newton cleans up.
Big possession, Taylor Hawks down 3, a minute and a half to play. They can bring it back to tie the game with a triple. Dion Brewster will take it. Oh. Rims out. No need to foul just yet. You've still got a couple of possessions. Play some good heads up D. Make a stop. Majuk battling, gets the rebound, easy too. Taylor Hawks needing to box out, get him off the boards, failed to do so. Jared Kenny, quick. That's exactly what they needed. Got to get it over the timeline, does so.
You have to play for time.
No need to foul. No need to foul.
He's young Sean Bruce, but they do.
As my partner in crime, Glenn, makes his way down the half court, we've got Sean Bruce at the foul line, short on the first. 35.5 seconds to go. Saints up 3. Needs to hit this one to make it a 2-possession game. Able to knock it down. It looks like we've got a timeout by the Taylor Hawks. Four points in it. Taylor Hawks, they can go a quick one, go 2 for 1. What that means is they will have to get a shot up before 24 seconds is left on the game clock so that they have a chance to potentially make it and get a defensive stop and then have the last possession to either tie or go up. Now, it's a risk with only 11 seconds left, but fortune favors the bold. Let's see what Seiko Coronel will draw up offensively and see what Coach KB, Kevin Braswell, has got up his sleeve in terms of defensive sets. Now, I would imagine because most of these players are interchangeable, we'll see a lot of switching. But the Hawks don't necessarily have to have a 3. Quick 2, make a stop, and then come back down. Jared Kenny to inbound the ball. Struggling to get in, gets it in the rust patch. He's going to drive baseline, no one home. Reverse, big block. And Jared Kenny coming up with the loose ball. Exactly what the Hawks needed. And they got Dion Brewster with another foul in the back court. I don't know if he needed to foul. Again, they would have had an opportunity to have a stop, to make a stop. And then get the last possession. So maybe he was told to do that. But it certainly doesn't make a lot of sense. Shea Ili knocks down the first. Big three throws. 29 seconds left. Knocks down the second. So we've got a two-possession game. And the Hawks have to go quick. Jared Kenny getting all the way to the cup. Lays it in with just over 21 seconds to play. Now they're going to have to foul. Shea Ili getting free. Gets it over the timeline. That could be it. They do end up fouling LJ Pig, who can knock down a three throw. He's just going to have to knock them both down. LJ Pig steps up. Needs to make at least one to make it difficult. Hits the first. Front iron gets the shooter's roll. Two-possession game. Hawks are going to have to go extremely quick. Now they need a three. Dion will pull up. Right off the backboard. Ethan Rusbach gets the layup. Timeout Saints. Now the Hawks can make a quick foul again and force these Saints to the line where they could miss one or miss two. 4.2 seconds is a long time to play. We'll see what both coaches come out with. Saints will be looking to play a little bit of keep away, and the Taylor Hawks will be looking to foul as soon as they can. That is a cannon. .2 seconds remain in the ball game. The Cygnus Saints up 79 to 77. Taylor Hawks going to have to foul quickly and try and foul a bad free throw shooter. Majuk would be the target. So I'd imagine the Saints won't look to inbound to him. And you cannot foul before the ball is inbounded. That's 2 shots plus possession. So Hawks need to be aware of that. Here we go, Sean Brewster inbound. Gets it into LJ Peak, and he is pushed over the line, over the limit. So that is 2 shots coming up. And only a second plus change off the clock. So once again, LJ Peak being asked to come up strong in the clutch, has to hit at least one of them to make it tough. Taylor Hawks do have another timeout, which means they can advance the ball to half court and draw up a better play. Look for Zico to call a timeout. Or does LJ Peak miss on purpose? Misses it. Jordan Nato on the offensive board, and that will do it. The Cigna Wellington Saints scrapping their way to a 3-point win over the Taylor Hawks. Bit of a tough third quarter from both teams. Not a lot going on offensively. Defensive battle and a bit of a lid on the hoop was the tale of the game. Now I will have Glenn Peklowski down courtside to announce the Sal's Pizza MVP very shortly. Wellington Saints doing their normal post-game routine, having a meeting in the middle. But they are very lucky to come away with a win. Coach Kevin Braswell likes to break down the game pretty quickly for these guys. And the Hawks are making their way to the locker room. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on this chilly Sunday afternoon in the capital city, Wellington Cygnus Saints coming away with the 3-point victory over the Taylor Hawks, 80-77. Standout performances, Majok with the double-double. Shea Ili chiming in with 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And LJ Peak doing what he's been doing all season, coming up big when it matters. 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Brother, you're our MVP tonight. Who's been your MVP in the team tonight?
I thought it was Majok. You know, he came out here and battled Brant all day tonight and, well, all night. And, you know, made it tough for him. And he was scoring on him as well. And, you know, we always try to get it into the post and get him going. You know, he's tough down low. And, yeah, big credit to him tonight. I don't know how many boards he had, but felt like he had a lot.
Yeah, big double-double is where he cleans up the glass for you. How important is that for the squad?
It's very big. You know, we don't have many rebounders in our team. Well, like that, go get them every night. But you know, it's great to have Juk clean up the O boards or the defensive boards, and you know, it's great for us to get on the break and push that. And yeah.
And your focus this year is a little bit different than last year. What is it you want to bring to this team? Your role?
Well, Kev's always on me about leading the team, and that's a big one for me for the past few years. And yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, get better as a point guard. You know, telling everyone where to go, and yeah, just knowing what to run down the stretch like tonight. But yeah, just leading the team.
Excellent, brother. You're our sales MVP. You get $300 to give to the charity of your choice. You know who that is? Wellington Children's Hospital.
Oh yeah, Wellington's Children's Hospital. Cheers.
Thanks, brother. We love watching you play. Back to you, Stu.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Sal's Pizza game MVP for the evening, Shea Ili, getting it done with 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He did touch that, but he thought Majok could have been the MVP, and he's certainly got a great case with 13 points, 15 big boards. Some all-around good basketball being played defensively by Majok. And it looks like we've got a big gaggle of kids down on the court taking a photo with the Wellington Saints. The way that this team gets involved in the community is second to none. I know they do coaching most days or every day out in high schools and intermediates. And they are certainly a family-orientated ball club. It's wonderful to see. Now, coming up on nznbl.basketball, Sal's Authentic New York Pizza, we have Sunday the 27th, that is today. We've got the 2 Cheap Car Rangers versus the Nelson Giants. 7 p.m. Thursday, 31st of May. Tune in, 2 Cheap Car Rangers versus the Cygnus Saints. That's going to be in Auckland. And 7 p.m. Saturday, the 2nd of June, down in the Trafalgar Centre in Nelson. Tough stadium to get a win in. The Taylor Hawks, again, travelling to the top of the South Island. And then we have 3 p.m. Sunday the 3rd of June in the Ballroom Arena in Manawatu, Palmerston North. The Go Media Jets versus the Wheeler Motor Company, Christchurch or Canterbury Rams. A lot of basketball action coming up. Tune in.